Silent space. Did you know space is as quiet as it gets? Without air or water, sound waves have nowhere to travel, making space the ultimate quiet zone. Glowing bananas. Bananas are not just tasty, they're slightly radioactive. Thanks to a bit of potassium-40, they have a gentle glow, but don't worry, they're perfectly safe to munch on. Ancient school. The University of Oxford started teaching way before the Aztec Empire was even a thing. Imagine, students have been studying there since the 11th century. Shrinking mountain, even mountains can shrink. Mount Everest, the giant among peaks, loses a little height every year due to natural forces pressing down. Forever. Young jellyfish. Imagine if you could become a kid again at will. Some jellyfish do just that, turning back to their juvenile form and potentially living forever. Fishy rain. Picture this. It rains and fish start falling from the sky. In Honduras, this bizarre yet true phenomenon happens regularly in the city of Yoro. Floating ice. Why does ice float in your glass of water? Because it's about 9% lighter than the water, making your drink the perfect little iceberg ocean. Long baby time. The frilled shark beats almost all animals when it comes to long pregnancies, taking up to 3.5 years before giving birth. Talk about waiting. Sheep-eating plant. In Chile, there's a fearsome plant called Puya chilensis. It's got sharp spikes that trap sheep and other animals, which eventually feed the plant as they decompose. Barefoot emperor. Imagine a Roman emperor who never wore shoes. Caligula, known for his eccentricities, roamed his empire barefoot. Smart plants. Plants are like tiny green geniuses using quantum mechanics to figure out the most efficient way to turn sunlight into energy. They're nature's physicists. Square poops. Wombats are the champions of unique poops, producing perfect little cubes that stack neatly and don't roll away, marking their territory and style. Red waterfall. There's a spooky waterfall in Antarctica that runs bright red, nicknamed Blood Falls. It's colored by iron, not real blood, but it's quite the sight. Flaming waterfall. There's a waterfall in New York that's not just wet, it's on fire. Thanks to a natural gas leak, a small flame burns right at its base, making for a fiery spectacle. Rocky creature. The Puya chilensis looks just like a stone, but it's alive. This odd sea creature has blood so clear it's practically invisible and lives its whole life pretending to be a rock. Pluto's big heart. Far out in our solar system, Pluto wears its heart on its sleeve, or rather, on its surface. This huge heart-shaped ice plane could hide some icy secrets. Dancing atoms. Scientists have created time crystals, a new kind of material where atoms move in a repeating cycle, kind of like they're dancing to the beat of time itself. Glowing waves. Sometimes the sea sparkles with blue light at night. This magical glow comes from tiny sea creatures that light up when the water moves, creating a starry ocean. Talking parrot. In a real-life mystery, a talking parrot repeated crucial clues that were overheard, helping solve a case. Who knew parrots could be feathered witnesses? Super old tree, meet Methuselah, a bristlecone pine that's been alive for over 800 years. That makes it the oldest known tree on Earth, older than most civilizations. Backward spinning, Venus is the rebel of our solar system, spinning in the opposite direction of most planets. This means if you stood on Venus, you'd see the sun rise in the west. Bubbly pressure. Champagne bottles are under a lot of pressure, literally, 3 times the pressure in car tires. That's why popping a bottle feels so dramatic. Speeding Earth. Our planet is zooming through space at an astonishing 67,000 miles per hour. We're all space travelers on Earth hurtling around the sun. Whale songs. Whales don't just communicate, they sing complex songs that can last hours and travel for miles underwater. These songs could even help whales see through. Moon's ancient origins. The moon was likely formed after a massive collision between Earth and a Mars-sized body, flinging debris into orbit which eventually came together to form our moon. Volcano lightning. During volcanic eruptions, lightning can strike right in the ash cloud. This electrifying event, called a dirty thunderstorm, happens due to the collision of particles in the eruption cloud. Giraffe's long tongue. Giraffes have tongues up to 20 inches long, which they use to grasp leaves and branches. Their tongues are also dark-colored to prevent sunburn. Ants and their super strength. Ants can carry objects 50 times their own body weight. If a human had that kind of strength, they could lift a car with ease. Peacock's colorful secret. A peacock's feathers aren't actually colorful due to pigment. Instead, they have microscopic structures that reflect light to appear brilliantly colored. The walking fish. The mud skipper is a fish that spends a significant amount of time on land, using its pectoral fins to walk and hop about the mudflats. Living soil. A single teaspoon of rich garden soil can hold up to 1 billion bacteria, several yards of fungal filaments, several thousand protozoa, and scores of nematodes. Snail's tiny teeth. A snail's mouth contains over 25,000 tiny teeth. They use these to scrape or cut food before ingesting it. Chili heat. The heat of a chili pepper isn't actually a taste, it's a sensation of pain. Capsaicin in the peppers triggers a pain response in your mouth, tricking your brain into feeling heat. Sunflowers track the sun. Sunflowers exhibit a behavior called heliotropism. They tilt throughout the day to face the sun, maximizing the amount of sunlight they can absorb. Penguins' heat exchange. Penguins have a heat exchange system in their bodies that recycles their own body heat to keep them warm in icy waters. Bacteria weather control. Some bacteria can induce snow and rain by providing a structure that water can condense around, leading to cloud formation and weather changes. Goldfish memory myth. Contrary to popular belief, goldfish have a memory span of several months, not just a few seconds. They can be trained to perform tricks just like dogs. The loudest animal relative to size. The water boatman, a tiny insect, is the loudest animal on Earth relative to its body size. Its song can reach up to 99 decibels, roughly equivalent to a passing freight train. Banana clones. Almost all commercial bananas are perfect clones of one another, grown from cuttings rather than seeds. Octopus gardens. Octopuses collect shells and other objects to create fortresses or gardens around their dens, which they use to hide from predators. Artistic birds. Male bowerbirds construct elaborate structures decorated with sticks, leaves, and even brightly colored objects to attract females. The sands song. When certain sands are shoveled or walked on, they can sing or squeak. This phenomenon occurs due to the friction between sand grains. The coconut helmet. Coconuts kill more people every year than sharks by falling from trees onto unsuspecting victims below. The color-changing mammal. The Arctic hare changes color from brown to white during the winter to blend into the snowy environment and evade predators. Cheetah's tail rudder. A cheetah uses its tail as a rudder to steer and balance while running at high speeds, making it the fastest land animal. Night-shining clouds. Noctilucent clouds found in the upper atmosphere shine brightly at night against the dark sky and are mostly composed of ice crystals. Rats laugh when tickled. Rats produce a high-pitched laughing sound when tickled. This is considered a sign of joy in these animals. The quantum frog, the African clawed frog, is used in pregnancy tests due to its unique reaction to human pregnancy hormones, which can induce it to lay eggs within hours. Singing stars. Neutron stars can produce star quakes, events similar to earthquakes but in space. These quakes cause the stars to emit a powerful burst of energy, creating a cosmic whistle that can outshine the sun for a brief moment. Invisible rainbows. Every rainbow actually forms a full circle, but usually only half is visible. The ground obscures the other half unless you're viewing it from high above, like in an airplane. Solar system's tail. Just like a comet, our solar system has a tail too. It's called the heliotail, and it extends out into space driven by the solar wind. Glow-in-the-dark sharks. The swell shark can emit a green biofluorescent light, which it uses to illuminate the ocean's depths and attract prey. Eagle eyes. An eagle can spot an ant crawling on the ground from the top of a 10-story building. Their vision is that powerful. The flower with a clock. The morning glory flower opens at dawn and closes at dusk, essentially acting as a natural clock. Hummingbird's high gear. Hummingbirds can flap their wings up to 80 times a second, creating a humming noise that gives them their name. Elephants' seismic communication. Elephants can communicate using sounds below the frequency of human hearing. These vibrations travel through the ground, allowing them to send messages over long distances. Living fossils. The horseshoe crab dates back over 450 million years, making it older than dinosaurs and unchanged by evolution in significant ways. Balancing birds. Woodpeckers have special tail feathers that help them balance against tree trunks while they peck at high speeds. Fruit explosion. The sandbox tree, also known as the dynamite tree, has fruit that explodes when ripe, flinging seeds at speeds up to 150 miles per hour. Turtles' salty tears. Sea turtles cry to get rid of excess salt that they ingest while feeding, not because they are sad. Wind-whipped rocks. In California's Death Valley, rocks move across the desert floor without human or animal intervention, propelled by a perfect balance of ice formation and strong winds. Lava tubes on the moon. The moon has structures known as lava tubes, which are tunnels beneath the surface that could potentially provide shelter for astronauts due to their stable temperatures. Spider silk strength. Spider silk is stronger than steel and tougher than Kevlar when compared by weight. Scientists are studying it to create super strong materials. A plant's diet. The Venus flytrap digests insects not just for nutrition but also to supplement the poor mineral content of the soil in which it lives. Fish with antifreeze. Some fish in the Antarctic have antifreeze proteins in their blood, allowing them to survive the icy waters. Mushroom spore clouds. Certain mushrooms create their own breeze. They release water vapor along with their spores, which cools the air and helps lift the spores into the breeze for wider dispersal. Meteorite crystals. Some meteorites contain crystals formed billions of years ago, making them older than any rocks on Earth. Biodegradable plastic from cactus. Researchers have developed a form of biodegradable plastic made from cactus juice, which degrades in the soil and is non-toxic to animals. Mirror image stars. Some stars are almost perfect mirror images of each other due to the way they form in pairs from a single cloud of gas. The dancing forest. In Russia, there is a forest known as the dancing forest, where the trees twist into bizarre and mysterious shapes due to unknown natural forces. Zebra's cooling stripes. A zebra's stripes may help to regulate its temperature, creating small air currents along its skin that act like a natural air conditioning system. Sleeping whales. Whales sleep by shutting down only one half of their brain at a time, allowing the other half to manage breathing and to watch for threats. Stay curious and subscribe for more awesome facts.